surveillance unit. The Citroen would be in radio contact with the rest of the detail, and all the follow vehicles would move in and out of formation to change out the command vehicle, the name given to the vehicle directly tailing the target. Other
Take
cars
ramp
and trucks
right
would be
to
racing ahead on the
I-70
side
east.
streets so they could naturally fill in the slots of the running box surveillance. As they drove, the two Americans kept their eyes peeled, just in case there were more units in the French security detail around or behind them that they didn't ID at the target location. For several blocks, they suspected a brown bread truck was involved in the tail. It wove through traffic and seemed to mirror the movements of the beige Citroen, but John and Dean ultimately ruled it out when it pulled up to a large commercial bakery and parked below the